to another wonderfully produced heart rate variability training video. In this week's video, we're going to talk about how we can use biofeedback to tap into old beliefs, what I like to call ghost robber imprints, and hypervigilance. We're going to use biofeedback to slow down our heart rate and start getting control over these experiences and letting them go. All right, so earlier I mentioned that we're going to be talking about using heart rate variability to put the brakes on your heart rate. With this comes a little bit of a conversation about some of the things that take up space in your mind, and maybe there were negative things that happened a while ago, and so it can develop a hypervigilance around these experiences. Say for instance, a deer. You have a deer that's in the field and it's just fine, but then it hears a predator running up to it through the bushes. And so the ear immediately shoots up. The deer is alert to the danger that's coming, and then it runs away into an area where it feels safe, or maybe that it's going to decide that it's going to try to fight this thing off, and so it's preparing for that. Once the mountain lion comes, then it's ready to fight off. But actually, what if the mountain lion never comes? So a lot of humans, like us, me and you who's watching this, a lot of times we experience experiences of the past. And so they're still haunting us today. That's why I call them ghosts, and then they're robbing us of our presence right now. So with a deer, what it's able to do though, if we go back into the story, is it's able to, if the predator never comes, it's able to just relax, slow its heart rate down, shake it off, and then go back to doing whatever it was doing, peaceful, and not actually ever think about that incident again, and just randomly experience stress or anxiety or anger or whatever towards that thing. It's just a thing that happened, and then I let it go. But the thing with us is we torture ourselves by being hypervigilant for the next time that that thing is likely to happen, and then it makes us emotionally turbulent, and it can also activate certain themes that we have, like the theme of negative self-talk, which is basically just the theme of having a critic in your head that is constantly being demeaning or negative towards you. You could also have a theme of scarcity. Say, often your mind is filled with thoughts of not having enough love or money or food, or I don't know, just any internalized sense of scarcity. Instead of operating from a space of abundance and opportunity, you've become in this point with this theme more pessimistic. So I'm just gonna offer another theme, and these aren't like all the themes, these are just some themes to help prime your creative discovery process, that you're gonna be looking for these old themes. And this is not like the definitive list of themes. Another theme could be, say, perfectionism, like a fear of disappointing other people. Growing up in environments where receiving parental validation was really important. And so like how you performed, either like in school or in practice, or was directly related to how much affection you're gonna get from your parents, from your team members, from your coach, and attention. So if this was an element that you had growing up, maybe a fear of disappointing other people or perfectionism could be a theme for you. And I'll give you one more bonus theme, maybe like control. So control is when you're experiencing excessive change like throughout your life. So if you have moved a couple times, or maybe even one time, maybe you've seen your parents get divorced, or you've seen things change often growing up, I can leave some physiological imprints resulting in a sense of lack of control. So that can come up in a lot of ways. One good movie that shows this story is Spirited Away. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you watch it. So these ghost robbers, they live in our body more than our minds, and so there's this trapped, stuck energy that may live in different parts of us, or maybe there's an imprint, a strong imprint in our heart. Our heart actually has like, I don't know, like 50,000 neurons. It's not anywhere as close to the head, but it's not too far away either. So it's just really another brain. It can store things. And in this case, we're looking for these ghost robbers, these old experiences that aren't really active in the now, but they do take real estate from the now. And something brings us back to that. What I can say is these exercises will help you lean into letting go. Of course, you have to have, I don't know, some intention to get past these memories, so it's going to involve going back into them. So just lean into letting go, knowing that once you exercise these repeating themes and thoughts that wear away your heart and mind, you'll actually have more presence in the now, and you'll less likely be taken from it, just from random secondary things that happen. So like a secondary ghost robber, let's just say, is an experience that's happening now that's not that significant, but it reminds you or has like a subconscious link to a bigger thing that's happened in the past. So it can be simple as somebody just saying something to remind you to remind you to leave to go to work at a certain time. It's just a reminder, but maybe that reminds you of, like when your mom was reminding you and nagging you or something, and then you have that same response, even though that person who just was reminding you to go to work didn't really deserve you to elicit that response. That's like an example of a secondary ghost. It's just something that you do in the now that is actually linked to something stronger in the past, and it affects you today. So we're just going to try to be linking back through these old experiences and carving out a space to protect them, and indeed ourselves as well, so that we can always be present, we can always be intentional and show up exactly how we want to, and not have to be in constant flux with what's happening maybe in the past, and that's reminded by some random and possibly unrelated incident in the present. So this exercise that we're going to go over in week 5 is going to be pretty fun. It's going to be 5 minutes of finding a ghost. It could be the same one, it could be a different one each time. Check out the link in the description for the worksheets. It's going to kind of just help you jot down whatever ghosts you might have. So jumping back into this exercise, you've already jotted down everything in the worksheet. So all you have to do now is check out those notes and work on the individual ghosts. What you're going to want to see, hopefully, throughout the week is as you really immerse yourself in these experiences, not just the feeling or the thinking about it, but actually the sensations that happen within your body, you're going to be able to decelerate your heart rate more quickly and more effortlessly. You're not really going to use effort. It's just going to happen, and it's going to happen reflexively as well. And so what that means is you can go through your day, and if something stresses you out for whatever reason, your body is going to be more likely to reflexively, not consciously, slow down your heart rate so that you're back in control. This is the training this week that's going to really help you with that. Obviously, you're going to want to be able to go out into your everyday and be able to do something like the power 10s to help reinforce that reflex. So we're going to work this week to discover something deeper and darker and more than just like a slight annoyance, but something that's really in the depths of your heart. It's going to be kind of an interesting week. I'm definitely excited to hear how everybody's results go in the comments. Leave me a thumbs up if you like this video, and we will see you on the next video for a follow-up on how to remove the ghosts.